We've played in the last 2 years since I've been here. They were really good. Without question, this is the most talented team they had at every position. Great defensive front, NFL prospects on the defensive line, which will be a challenge. Athletic as heck at linebacker in the secondary. On the offensive line, big and strong, big physical running back, great quarterback, good receivers, really good receivers, and they're well coached. So we'll definitely have to play very well in order to win, but that's why you practice all week and get ready to play a great opponent. So it's a great opportunity to play just an outstanding football team that's playing as good as anyone in the country right now, and we're going to have to really play well in order to win.
I mean, you talk about their talent and athleticism and size and all that stuff, and yet, those teams get beat like everybody else, and you've been part of those games where you've been able to take teams in and win those kind of games. What is the common denominator? What are the things that go into pulling those kinds of upsets where you've been a part of them?
Well, I think that there has to be some type of an aggressive approach you have on all three segments, and that plan has to work. And at the same time, you can't beat yourselves, which means turning the ball over, giving them points, a lot of negative plays, giving up big plays. So I just think you got to play some clean football mixed in with some aggressiveness in the plan and hope to execute. And, on any given day, anybody can win, and that shows up every week. But we're going to definitely have to do a lot of things well in order to come out with victory.
Jeff, what was the major emphasis during the bye, and how receptive, I guess, was everyone to maybe making some of the adjustments or just reiterating some of those things?
Well, I think on offense, we've got to clean a lot of things up. We want to make sure that we're not giving the other team points. So you can't make silly turnovers and silly mistakes, which we've had. I think we have to have less negative plays, which unfortunately has happened a little too much this year. So that's a combination of a lot of things. We do need to be better and more consistent up front in our play, and know exactly what we need to do and go out and play as hard as we can and try to execute that. We need to find ways to run the ball more effectively and be able to put some pressure on the defense that way instead of having to throw the ball quite as much. That'll be important as we proceed forward, and we just have to play much more efficient in our play without giving the team points to a certain degree. And I think on defense, we've done a lot of really good things. We've got to be able to create pressure on the quarterback. We've got to get some turnovers. We can't give up the big scrambles. And then we have to be able to execute in key situations. And special teams, I think that Colin is a weapon, but we've got to find ways to create him space, and then we just got to be able to gain an edge in that in some capacity.
Just a quick follow-up on that. You talk about the run game. What is the health of the running back room? Are they getting a little closer to 100%?
Well, unfortunately, we've had some nicks and bruises and injuries, I guess, that have lingered and lasted a long time, and then that room has been thin, so we've got to get guys back healthy as we can. We hope to have Kewan and Isaac as healthy as we possibly can for the game. We've got to be more physical and more consistent up front, blocking, not only in the run game, in the passing game, and that has to show up throughout every play. And at the same time, we've got to take what the defense gives us, which means if they're going to start to play the pass, which I thought Virginia did in the second half, we've got to be able to run the ball way more consistently.
Florida's always been so important, from a recruiting standpoint to this program. How natural a game is this for your guys to get up for? And is it maybe, it's always tough to play a top 5 team, but having this game come right after a loss, does that help enthusiasm and all that type of stuff in the preparation at all?
Well, we're definitely excited to play a great football team. Miami has always played good football. They've been very good here in the past. They've had we've had two really good games against them the last 2 years. That one we came out on top barely, and the other we lost barely. And this team we're playing this year is a more talented football team that they have, without question. The roster is as strong as it's been. I think they're well coached on offense. They've got a new defensive coordinator who's doing a great job. So they're very well coached on defense, and right now they're playing as consistent as anybody. So we're just gonna have to go make plays, and that's part of the game. You work hard all week to put together a plan and go out there and make plays. You got to go out there and make plays during the game, and we'll have our opportunity this week, but we're going to have to block these guys. We're going to have to tackle them, and we're going to have to find a way to create some big plays.
Jeff, as a program, Louisville had problems winning in Miami until that game you mentioned 2 years ago. How much, knowing that you had that victory, how much does that help going into this situation? I know it's totally different teams, makeups of the teams now, but how much does just knowing that you won there help?
Well, I think we understand that if we play as good as we can play, we're capable of whatever we think we can get accomplished. And I think if we don't, then anyone can beat us. And that has shown up. And, for us, when we won down there, we played a really good game. It was definitely a well-executed game on offense. We played about as good as we could on defense. It wasn't perfect by any means, but we weren't as good on defense that year at times later in the season. And we gave up some points to them. But, it's about us improving and playing against a high caliber team will really give you a measurement of where you stand. And, I'd like to go play some good football. And I think we have a great opportunity against a great team to show what we're made of and show that we can make some improvements and go out there and execute and play hard and play physical because we're going to have to do that in order to win.
Jeff Carson Beck went from Georgia to Miami to kind of prove himself again. He certainly seems like he's doing that. He's rated one of the most efficient guys in the country. When you watch his tape, what stands out as his strengths to you, and what's going to be difficult to slow him down?
Well, he's an NFL quarterback. He's big, he's tall, he can make all the throws. He's played a lot of football. He's handled adversity. He's had some ups and downs, and now he's in an offense that really suits him well. They have a great running attack. They're really big and physical up front, big, strong runner. They've got some speed at receiver, but they don't air it out all the time. It's a very balanced attack that throws a lot of screens and gets the ball in the perimeter and runs the football, and then he'll hit you with some play action. So he's executed that very well. So I don't think they ask him to drop back and just pass it every play. That's a very good system that he fits very well in because he can deliver the ball accurately, and he's tough and he's played a lot of football. So I just think he is somebody that you've got to change some things up. You got to disguise some things. You got to create some pressure on them. You got to find ways to make them do things they haven't had to do all year because they've had the lead in pretty much every game, and they've been in control. And we have to find a way to do that ourselves if we want to win.
Jeff, you guys, you guys have had to mix and match on the offensive line a lot so far this season with varying degrees of success. One, during this bye, how much progress were you guys able to make on the offensive front? And two, how much does getting Trevante Sylvester back on a more full-time basis kind of help out with that?
Well, I think that we need to play better up front, and I think we're capable of that. We've got to be more physical. We've got to know our assignments better and come off the ball and strike and play confident. We've got to be able to block movement and blitzes to a certain degree and be able to handle that and not panic and whiff, so to speak, at times. And I think that we've adjusted a few things up front that I think if we have to do, we'll try to do. But at the same time, we have to play better. Trevante is back. He's been back. He's not at the weight that he's played at before. So that's a concern. So we got to continue to work through that. But, all of us need to play better, and we have to have the best plan to do that. And I think as long as we play hard and we play physical, and we play fast, we'll have a chance, but we have to make strides there.
Jeff, what role has TJ Quinn played in leading the ACC's best defense, and what do you need from him, or what do you expect from him this Friday in Miami?
Well, he's done very well for us. He's got a lot of experience. He understands the game. He understands our package. He needs to be our leader at the linebacker position on defense. For the most part, he's done a really good job. I think when we know exactly what to do, we're all on the same page, and the call's communicated, we've executed well. We've still had a couple times where there's been a couple miscues there, and we got to make sure we clean that up and simplify it, or make sure that we have answers so that when the ball's snapped, we're all on the same page coming off. And I just think he's the one that controls that and has to be the vocal leader, so to speak, the quarterback on defense. But he's done a really good job at this point.
Yeah, Jeff, how do you game plan for a guy like Ruben Bain who's a game wrecker and can just change the game by himself?
Well, trust me, it shows up on tape. They've got two defensive ends that are really talented and fast and strong, along with some big guys up front and fast linebackers. And yes, we've talked to some coaches at Florida, and they said this front was better than ones they've seen in the SEC in the last 3 or 4 years. So yes, it's a good defensive front. They're talented, they're big, they're strong, they're fast. They're not overly complicated, but when you're that talented, you don't have to be. They come off the ball, they strike, and they do a very good job. So this will be a huge test, and we're going to, without question, have to help to a certain degree. And then at times they're going to have to man up and do their part, but it will create a lot of challenges for us.
Jeff, given kind of the close games you guys have played, the shared history with Coach Snellenberger, is this maybe a rivalry that's, I don't know, underplayed a bit? Like, do you feel like this is developing into a very good rivalry with Miami?
Well, I think it's a great rivalry from our vantage point. I mean, it's an excellent football team, a lot of history and tradition, and there's some common themes, like you said, in Coach Snellenberger and in his past and history. But, this is a huge game for us. And we've got a great opportunity to play the number 2 team in the country that's played as good as anybody up to this point. We've got to play, on their turf. I'm sure to be a sellout crowd. And that's what you ask for, is that opportunity. So I would hope that we can continue to practice well and improve, and understand that you don't get this many great opportunities very often. And to play a team of this caliber can really show what you can do if you're ready to go. And at the same time, if you're not, they will expose you to a great degree. So that's why we've got to really be sound, come into the game, play hard and aggressive, play to win, and hopefully our players will come ready to play and understand that on any given day anything can happen if you do things correctly and play hard and play well and play together. Thanks.
We're gonna get the injury report on Wednesday.
Yes.
Other than what you said. See this other report on Pittsburgh, yeah. And then
Austin College be 7:30.
7:30.
Yeah. BCC Network.
Prime time, baby.
That dude ran all over it.
Welcome to Brian in prime time. Whatever. I don't know.
Schedule.
No, give me time during the day.
Cal, Virginia Tech.
I don't think it has the official time. That's crazy. "13 years ago today was the 11 a.m. Pittsburgh game up there."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We don't have any of those.
Oh, thank God. The 11 a.m. morning after Thanksgiving are other teams. There you go. You just mentioned your phone. I need to start thinking about some new flights. If I'm gonna drive,
I'm gonna wait till the very last one.
that's what I figured.
Might be nice to watch that on TV. You're going, but you're gonna do, no, I don't know, the basketball stuff, basketball, baseball, stuff, months after that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna drive Uber for 3 months now, are you?
Good.
Just stay in Dallas.
Yeah. Just get us some new tickets from the other. The baseball, basketball trip is fun in theory, but you gotta think about, the month behind it's March. Or travel in March.
Dieter went over 5.
Really? I think I went 2 and 3.
You actually made a little bit of money.
I don't know. I had that money line in UCLA.
It was like $30.
Heck yeah. First week.
Positive cash flow.
Mhm.
Oh, you made money on that other week.
I know. It's all worth it.
I would have won.
I would have been right back at you.
Yes. Now I'm at a place where I'll just conserve.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because I don't need it.
You say that.
I don't need to take.
You say that. Oh, sorry.
You don't need to take
Thursday morning. Kentucky money line.
Take Kentucky.
That was the coldest steak of all time.
So that,
If they march Cutter Bowley out there, he's gonna die.
they are going to march out of there.
Texas, I name the number.
Tell them. Kentucky's going to outright beat.
Put your money where your mouth is, son. You said you want better.
I'll put a small one. Big return.
All right. I mean, it's going on a limb. I don't think it. I think it's you're basically a flag there going out on a 2-inch limb.
Let's see what it is. See some money
The
line.
spread's down to 11. They opened like 14. Who we got?
This might cost you outrageous.
This is outrageous.
Let's go.
Questions for Brian?
Brian, how's the off week work been with Miller? Obviously coming off that game where he had the turnover, the pick six, maybe some other poor decision making. How has he responded following that game heading into this one?
Yeah, I think
Miller has a really good head on his shoulders. Obviously he made, a really bad interception, really bad play that you never want to make in the last game. And, we've gotten over that. We reviewed it. We talked about it. But the big thing I was happy to see, at least after that play, was that he was able to bounce back within that game right away. There was a stretch there, about 5 plays that were a little shaky, and then he got right out of it and started playing some good football even after the bad play. So I think he's a very resilient guy. Things don't bother him very much. So I thought he did a good job of rebounding from a negative play. Obviously, we want to try to eliminate all those negative plays and get those out of there, because aside from the negative plays, I think he's playing some really good football. So there's a lot of positive things to point to. And the off week's been good, just to settle back down, be able to go through things a little bit slower, talk through some things, and it's been a good week.
Brian, I guess going off of that, one of the reasons Miller said he came here was just having a more balanced attack as far as the run game, but with that room being so banged up, how has that maybe changed some things? And how do you feel like you guys can move forward with just nursing those injuries?
Yeah, we've had to lean a little bit more on the drop back pass and put a little bit more on the quarterback than we normally would like to. So we definitely, that's an emphasis of getting the running game going, finding out which runs we need to be focused on the most, what our guys do the best, and put them in the best situation to be successful. But yeah, anytime you can run the football, it definitely helps the quarterback, opens up the passing game. So that's definitely a priority for us.
Brian, I know the coaches have talked about watching kind of extra college and pro football on bye weeks.
Yeah.
Do you find that you learn more from one more than the other, ideas and whatnot?
I think it's always good to have some time to look around, to see other teams play, to kind of catch what's the hot trend in college football or pro football. And sometimes when you're engrossed in the season and week to week, we're focused on the team that we're playing. And we do a lot of research even throughout the season, but during bye weeks, we're able to do some more to be able to sit back and really study what some other teams are doing. So it's a good opportunity to try to incorporate some new things, kind of halfway through the season, get a few new wrinkles that you can steal from some people. So, it's good to be able to sit back and watch some football and learn from it.
Brian, Jeff was just in here and said the Miami defensive front's going to be one of the toughest challenges that you guys are going to face this year. How difficult is it preparing, or what kind of things can you do to try to alleviate some of their strengths there?
Yeah, so their defensive line is very good. They got really good pass rushers. Remind you a little bit in a sense of the Florida State team from 2023 that we played in the ACC championship game. Just really good up front. Going to present a challenge for us. And you got to do some different things protection-wise to try to keep them on their toes. But I think our guys, just day in and day out, our defensive line here is really good as well. So we get a lot of good work versus good pass rushers each and every day. So I think that should help us prepare for these guys we're going to see on Friday night. But their defensive front is special. There's no doubt about that.
Brian, you mentioned how having that banged up running room has kind of forced you guys to kind of adjust how you approach game planning and whatnot. But how has the offensive line's start to the year kind of adjusted as well, knowing that Miller might have to get the ball out a little bit quicker, or some of those rushing lanes are having a little bit of trouble developing?
I think a big thing that we need to focus on is really eliminating the negative play, making sure that we're moving forward constantly. So obviously turnovers, negative plays, eliminating the sacks, just giving our quarterback outlets to get the ball out, or just being smarter with getting the football out on time and not taking those negative plays. So I think all those things kind of work together. We can do some things protection-wise to try to help them up front where we're getting ourselves in favorable matchups. So we're looking at all those things and, trying to put a plan together that's going to be the best for us come Friday.
Brian, if you could humor me for a second and go back to your playing days,
Mm-hmm.
what were your memories you took from playing Miami as a freshman and then again your junior year?
Yeah, I mean, Miami was a big game, was a big kind of litmus test, I think, for our program back then when I was playing. Miami is coming off the early 2000s where they were the team in college football. And, for us to go into the Orange Bowl and play them in 04 and play them tight like that, I think it kind of, for us at least, felt like we were being seen by the rest of the country, that we could play football here and that we were able to compete with the big boys. So that was, I think, a big moment. And then beating them here in 06, on the home field, kind of transition from Conference USA to Big East, getting into the Power Conference and, beating a team like that here at home. I think that was a big mark in the program history. So definitely for us in that early 2000s, that was a great litmus test for our program.
I was going to say, as a follow, how much do you think it's kind of grown as a rivalry since both of you guys are in the ACC now and it is an actual?
Yeah, I do think it's a good rivalry. For us, just historically, we've had a lot of players from that area, from South Florida. So a lot of those guys always took pride in, going back home and playing against the Florida teams. They always wanted to make sure that we were up for those and ready to play good against those guys. So I think the rivalry is continuing on, and we're in the same conference now. It's a big game. It's a big game, no matter what, every year. And you can hopefully always count on us two being good programs and being in the race. So I think it's definitely a fun rivalry for sure.
Brian, you compared Miami's D-line to what you guys saw against Florida State. Then obviously 2 years ago, you guys were able to get the program's first road win against Miami. Obviously very different teams, very different times. But what can you maybe take from those two games into this one? Because obviously put up a lot of points over the past 2 years too.
From the last two Miami games? And even the Florida State. Yeah, well, that D-line was good. We obviously wanted to play better in the ACC championship game on offense. But I think the thing we can tell our guys is, defensive line, very good. Their defense is playing great. Their team is playing great. But a lot of these guys we've already played against. We played against these pass rushers the last 2 years. We've blocked these guys. So, we know we can play with them. So we just need to go out and play our game, play with confidence, play with a little swag, and have fun when we're out there playing ball. Yep.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, pretty good. I'm transitioning out of that. The volleyball thing. Because it just takes up the middle of my day. I think probably the next 2 weeks I'll be done with it. I'm handing them off as you got.
It actually is 7:30. I'm serious.
How's it going?
What's up, Caleb Perry, Pete Niagara. Questions for our guys?
This is for Caleb. Can you just talk a little bit about coming to Louisville, not your hometown, but your home state? What was their interest way back in Louisville? Then how'd that all come about? You coming back here?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, obviously, Kentucky and Louisville being in the backyard, and I've had 2 siblings go to school here, so I'm pretty familiar with the campus already. And then it's just ironic, when I did hit a portal, I heard about Brohm coming to Louisville, and obviously he recruited me at Purdue, and I was like, I wonder if he'd reach out to me. And so as soon as I saw the 502 number, I was like, okay. And then it just kind of all fell into fruition. So, yeah.
Caleb, as a newcomer to the team, how important a role did TJ Quinn play in helping you get caught up, and what do you see as his role on the defense?
TJ, I mean, obviously he's been here his whole career, but he's a guy that plays, both Mike and Will, both at linebacker positions. He's really helped me, coming from Tennessee. I played Mike, Will, and Sam, and he's been able to kind of teach me the ropes of that, understand that, like, this is what you can learn from one or the other. So anytime we're in and we're switch positions, we talk to each other, and I know that's been an area for him. He's grown a lot in his communication and be able to communicate to the defense as well, not just like on the field, but off the field as well, what we're trying to accomplish. And so he's been a huge part, not only in the linebacker room, but just the heart of our defense as well. And, just helping other guys be able to understand that they can speak up and be verbal as well. And it's not just a one guy position.
Pete, what were some of the main things offensively you guys really honed in on cleaning up, and what kind of challenges you feel like Miami will face? Obviously, it's been mentioned about their front.
Yeah, a bunch of our mistakes we made, honestly, these last couple weeks throughout the early part of the season, just self-inflicted wounds, not playing our best football, playing, sloppy football at times with penalties, and giving up TFL and sacks on the offensive line, miscommunication, stuff like that. So just trying to play our brand of football that we know how to play, that we've shown before, and clean up the mistakes. And obviously going into this game, they have a great defensive front, one of the best in the country. And that's just a challenge for us up front, and we're ready for it. We're going to be ready for it come Friday night, and it's just an exciting opportunity to go out and play another game this week.
I guess just for both of you guys, obviously after a loss, you want to play again, but how important was it to have that bye week to kind of get ready, especially with it being a Friday night game?
It was super important, obviously, and it kind of lights a fire into people. Not being able to play a game this past Saturday and really having to just reflect on that loss we had at Virginia 2 weeks ago. But like you said, it is important. We can, look ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, why did we lose? Why have we, been having closer games than we'd like, obviously, and to fix those mistakes and continue to play our brand of football the best we can.
I think, too, just understanding, like you said, it sets a fire under you, and just knowing that, everything's still on the table for us. And, it's a reality check. Everybody loses. There's a winner and that loses. Someone wins and loses every week. So, yeah, we had a loss, but that doesn't mean that we can't accomplish everything that we want for us this season. And we just continue to grow every week, by week or not. So I just, another opportunity coming our way.
Hey, Caleb, just comment or your thoughts on Carson Beck and just Miami's offense.
Yeah, I'm familiar with him, obviously, playing against him when I was at Tennessee, at Georgia. I know he's a guy that once he gets going, he can get some energy behind him. But I think we're just going to come out early on and just be able to play aggressive and be hitting on all cylinders. even when we fall short, offense can pick us up. That's just all it is, the team sport. So we just got to go approach them just like any other team, understand that, yeah, they're really good. We got to be playing at our highest level, execute. Yeah, we might have some errors, but we also can make up for errors with energy. And we just go to the side, make those corrections, and just next play.
Perry, obviously that linebacker room's been without Saquon Clark for a few games now, but the linebacker room is still playing at a very high level. How did you guys kind of rally together to elevate everyone's play in the room after losing him for an extended amount of time?
It was hard. No one wants to see anybody get hurt, especially a guy in our own room. And after the game, we told Saquon, we're like, we got you, man. We just prayed with him, and I know that he's eager to get back, and he's just been waiting. He's been busting his butt, just trying to get healthy. But I just understood that it just puts more responsibility on everybody. We got to play for him because we know how much he'd want to be out there just playing with us as well. And he continues to build into us as well, being in our meetings and just finding ways, like pointing out little things, just, help us get marginally better. So I mean, it's been huge for us, but unfortunate for him. But I can't wait for him to get back with us.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
so much. Thank you.